The moment has arrived. Here we go. The first of the two semi-finals here at Wembley. England against New Zealand. England beaten in the semis in 2008 in Brisbane by the Kiwis. They were smashed back in 2000. They hope for a different story today. The big hit is on. And it starts with a big hit on Maria Hargreaves. As Graham got there and Burgess right up in the face of the Kiwis enforcer. Off goes Luke, and you heard the play-on call from Ben Cummins. New Zealand first use of the football. Ferris came in as a third man to make the tackle around the legs. Sonny Bill Williams has been front on by a wall of white. The England defence looking to make their mark in this first set. And now with Bromwich, he's got a lot of strapping on that right thigh. Big guard there. 5 short of halfway. They're blessed with great strength in the front row, the Kiwis. Maria Hargreaves, a second touch of the football. Last tackle, 5 metres inside England territory. Foran's the first kicker of the day. He's got it out towards the wing of Charnley there. And Charnley had a moment. He could sense the players coming through. He probably thought he was going to get smashed.
Oh, Burgess has made a mark, hasn't he? He wants William look for that battle today, and when the kick went up, it was Watkins who's rode Goodwin out. No contest. Good start, both teams.
Early shift from England out to this left side. And Cudjoe with the ball. They opened the first match with a 10-0 lead against Australia. How they would love that here against New Zealand. James Graham pokes his head almost through the defence there. As Luke got tangled up in the tackle with Elijah Taylor. Now Roby right, they'll kick before the last from inside the 40. Sinfield's kick has got good length on it. But Locke's across there for New Zealand. And Locke back to the 30. Good start, both teams.
Yeah, the New Zealanders really jamming the defence in tight, and obviously England went for a shift, went about tackle 3, trying to think they can get them on the outside and eat some yards up in those wide pastures.
Yeah, well, as Nightingale gets a touch, we've had the intimacy, if you like, of grounds like Warrington and the South Terrace there at Headingley. But now we're at a stadium. Bromwich has lost the ball. They say a strip. New Zealand get a penalty. It's a step up for everyone today.
I like the ploy of kicking early in the tackle for England. Wembley, turn them around, make them use up some juice early. And here, have a look at the work of Roby. Just gets an arm in there on the football. Possibly could call that a loose carry from Bromwich. They were walking, actually, Bromwich and Hargreaves back into that set.
I thought that was a one-on-one. I thought that was illegal.
Well, this is an opportunity for New Zealand full set to start 30 metres away from the line. And it is with Mannering, so he's got the third on his back, but he is playing in the second row today, Mannering. Taylor at lock, Pritchard out of the match, and that's a loss given the form he was in last Friday week against Scotland. Bromwich marches forward to centre field, 15 away from the line. The venue where England played Germany earlier this week in the football. As a Foran goes left, Locke's got an opportunity almost through. Finished up by Watkins over the top. With Sinfield, 4 and 10 out. They look lively here. Johnson, and in front, good hands, Williams. Now to the man with the dancing feet, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. They have to get a handle on him. He doesn't know where he's going. Now he straightens up. He has been exciting right from the get this World Cup. And Foran across the 10 again. Maria Hargreaves, good defence, Ferris. Locking up the ball with O'Loughlin. 5 from the line, Luke from W. Huff. Haven't seen that so far at the World Cup. And he's almost stolen a try, Isaac Luke. In fact, Ben Cummins just wants to check it.
Here's Benny, it's a 6 tackle.
Great set. Block plays to the left, an attack to the left, and then come to the right, courtesy of Sonny Bill Williams. Good D from England. And then the last play option, didn't think Isaac Luke would put one through. Nearly comes up with the goods as well. Tompkins. Has he been the saviour?
That's all fine. Just run it through now. Nice and tight on the grounding.
Just squeezes it through the line on the replay.
Come up.
Have a look at Tompkins.
Nice and slow. Ball's on the ground, ball's up. It's come off with the England player, just making sure that it hasn't touched the hand of
Here I
Luke.
say England could have done with a kick like that against Germany.
Drop out.
Beautiful stuff, great timing, beautiful strike.
Okay, we're going to go for a goal line dropout, Benny. It'll be no try. Okay, coming up now.
Big games are won by a matter of inches, and that was certainly one. It looks like it's definitely no try.
Definitely no try, it's just the restart whether you're going to say that Luke got a finger to it before Tompkins, but Ashley Klein has ruled that it was all Sam Tompkins, so line dropout for England. More pressure. And I'm liking what I see from both teams, to be honest.
New Zealand looked very dangerous with ball in hand, but once again it was another example of a penalty giving away field position. You know, it's a back-to-back set now, and England they've had a minute's break. I think that's been advantageous for them because, you know, they were a little on the right. There wasn't a ruck really where they didn't look like it was a little bit stretched in that set 6.
Line dropout exactly 50 metres, and Waria Hargreaves come back. He's got the big bullseye target on him at the moment. And England have zeroed in every time he's rushed the ball back, and he's loving it. Don't worry about that. Bromwich 30 metres away. Melbourne Storm front rower knows what it's like to play in a grand final. Foreign and works the edge. Williams offload, nice. Taylor. Offloads can really hurt England, and there's plenty who can slip a ball and a tackle in this New Zealand side. Williams' energy shown there for, and there's an overlap. Lock, Menery, quick hands all the way along. Nightingale for the corner. Beautiful defence, England. They came in numbers. And Nightingale had his wings clipped.
You know, it's great work here from Sonny Bill Williams. Everyone talks about the offloads and the line breaks and what he can do with the ball. But what about his ability to be tackled with the ball, give an offload up, quickly get to his feet, and then provide the link pass one play later? Brilliant pass. This creates numbers on the edge.
Yeah, it was a double effort from Sonny Bill. He was up on his feet, as you said, and almost played like a halfback. Nas up and out defence from England, and Charlie smothered him to get him the corner. A big respite from England. They needed that.
Charlie there, Watkins there, doing the job for England, and the crowd are right into the game. This is what we hope for. The first of the semi-finals, Australia to play Fiji later today. A warm welcome to our fans and viewers on the other side of the world, New Zealand and Australian audiences through Sky Sport NZ. And 7 mate in Australia. Hope you're enjoying the start of the big hit here, because it's an honour to be here, a privilege as it comes out to Hall now. Wembley, the new Wembley. Rugby League first played here again in 2007. Actually, James Roby was the first try scorer.
Sorry, Bossy. Williams wanted a square up here on Burgess. Took a bit of time to get to his feet, Big Sam. He's normally jacking a box straight up and into it. This one slowed him up a little. Maybe the replay will show us the contact. Elijah Taylor it is first. In fact, no, it's the arm of Hargreaves who comes across.
Is that a shoulder, the first bit? I mean, you tell me. That's sort of, I've got no dramas, but I know the rewriting of the law.
Well, the first shoulder's fine, no problem at all. A few of your friends in the crowd, Sean, not happy?
And rightly so too. I mean, that was a little bit naughty, wasn't it? Let's be honest. It's not back in the 70s or early 80s where you could get away with stuff like that. This is the modern day rugby league, and that's been trumped out of the game.
Sean Edwards and Daryl Halligan in commentary. Beautifully put by Sean. A little bit naughty. A grade 1 little bit naughty. It's Jared Maria Hargreaves. England get their first chance to use the football inside the New Zealand half. Yeah, I was saying Roby scored the first try here, the first league try here in 07, as Graham is with the ball, marches forward just inside the New Zealand 40. And Roby, they go right side, pushed along by Sinfield. Westwood did well. There's an opportunity for Charlie to show us his skills. Charlie got past lock. It took some scramble to get there. This is the opportunity for England then. They go deep from 20 out to centre field with Widdop. Shrugged away from the tackle of Taylor. Almost away from Menery. Now Graham kept alive. A kick for Hall. Tuivasa-Sheck taking his time. And the Hall is there. And Tuivasa-Sheck has managed to keep the ball in advance of the goal line.
That was a blatant obstruction there on Ryan Hall. Absolutely blatant.
Yeah, something's got to be done about taxing players out of the road when you're not contesting the football. But good work from Kevin Locke, because he was on the far side of the field and Janley went straight past him, but he did well to come back over here and cover. Good play also from England. What a match.
Yeah, the run of Charnley. Beware on that right wing. We know Hall, he's the greatest try scorer for England in Test football, but on the other side, Charnley, the highest try scorer this year in the Super League, and you saw it there. He was brilliant to get past Locke. So New Zealand under pressure here, kicking from their own 20. Really laboured there in that set. Tompkins onto the ball, 40 away from the England line.
You know,
8 minutes in.
It was only the second set of 6 that England actually had with the football. And we talk about a transition from defence to attack. They were sublime there. Perfect.
Yeah, it was a beautiful play from the 50% line. And obviously they targeted the left side of the New Zealand defence, and a couple of second-man plays, and they're running into space.
Sam carried the ball forward, Sam Burgess there. Graham has put his stamp all over this game early. 30 away from the Kiwis line. And Roby sends them to the left side. Widdop looks in charge. He's been confident with his work so far. Cudjoe is the left centre. Tackled on far for England. Hall to Widdop. Widdop's going to bomb, and he was knocked over after kicking. It's going to come down 15 out. The ball was loose. There was an opportunity to grab it. Now it's still on. It's batted infield. That could be dangerous. Scooped up by Mannering. The Kiwis get away with Goodwin. Goodwin will march inside the 40. Now looks for top gear. Hall has come from the other wing to make the tackle. Graham's there as well. Great commitment from both teams. New Zealand 20 metres away from the line. Hall having to sprint back now to the opposite wing as it goes that way. Here is Johnson. Johnson now to Williams. Williams, the flick, on it comes. With it is Farre. Farre will go close. Tompkins grabs him. Johnson, 5 out, dummy to Williams. He's away from one. Johnson now stepping and leaving. And Tompkins comes up with another. Great stuff. Luke from dummy half. They're all wrestling, these little Kiwis, Luke and Johnson and Foran. They're proving elusive. 5 from the line. Taylor at dummy half that time. Johnson, Foran, he's going to kick. It was telegraphed, the kick. It's a little too long. In fact, it's poor from New Zealand. 20-minute restart.
Great attacking play. Poor last play option. We're under some pressure from Foran. And it was the work after the bust of James Graham down in that corner. He was just shielding Nightingale towards, in fact, it was Goodwin, as Canterbury Bulldogs teammate, into the corner when the cover arrived. Great D.
I thought the scramble defence was absolutely outstanding from England. But England do not want to give New Zealand broken field situations, which they obviously did. We're trying to keep the ball alive on the last tackle.
O'Loughlin hammered by Williams.
I don't think I can work out Pythagoras' theorem on the run, but I know Ryan Hall ran a bloody long way to make that tackle from the opposite wing. If you draw a triangle here on Wembley, as Tompkins cut out ball, Charnley, plenty of touches for him, and they've all been good. As Nightingale was there to make the tackle with Goodwin. Last tackle play again for England in a position to put in an attacking kick. It's coming out the way of Hall. Here he comes. Tuivasa-Sheck's there. It came loose. And New Zealand have it. Play on the call from Cummins.
Yeah, I think it was a good call too. Hall goes up and puts the left arm to it, and a little bit of a ricochet. But good play from England. They come hard off their own end, put a kick up and contested down on the right-hand edge of New Zealand, so their chance to do some yards out of the yardage set.
And a penalty goes the way of New Zealand. Their second for the match. It's on the 20, and you've got to call it a relieving penalty given the pressure they've been under.
This was a bust, and the kick was uncontested. Look at the work of Graham. Look at him pointing to the sideline. He says, I'll give you the outside. When does an outside prop give the winger the outside to Goodwin? And then he comes, Hall from the far wing. Beautiful work.
He did a great job slowing that play the ball down. He went right up to the point where the referee was going to possibly sin bin him for obviously holding down, but he did a great play there, did James Graham.
So it starts over again, 11.5 minutes in, no score. And a great test match as up came Burgess on Maria Hargreaves. They have not just a score to settle, they've got scores to settle. Roosters and Rabbitohs, the great rivalry from Australian Rugby League. On opposite sides, those two. There's now Luke and Foran. Nice play again. Locke gets it away. Goodwin. And Charnley did well again. Did enough to bump Goodwin off his feet. They want to play the ball. It's hard to hear the calls in front of this crowd of in excess of 60,000. New Zealand with it, 25 metres out, for and again. And this is Taylor. Taylor's got a spring in his step. If you haven't seen a lot of Elijah Taylor, he can jump around left and right. Skillful forward. Last tackle, New Zealand. Foran's going to bomb it out towards Charnley again. He's called for it. Charnley, hands above head, has lost it. Tompkins offside, penalty, New Zealand.
Good work from Nightingale. An evenly contested last play option from Kieran Foran. Perfect. The ball come down just as the attacking player was looking to accept it and receipt. A little bit of pressure on, gives another set of 6. 70% possession for the Kiwis. Here it is here on the replay. Everyone onside, no problems there.
James here, up, no.
New Zealand just 8 metres away from the England line. Great ebb and flow to this game so far. First of the semi-finals at Wembley. Johnson, oh, pass without looking, has come undone. And a big cheer from the England fans at Wembley.
There's a big cheer from me as well, because they were looking very dangerous. It was only ruck 2. And a big mistake really from New Zealand. Obviously slight miscommunication on the short ball to Sonny Bill. But what I've been impressed with the Kiwis, in particular the halves, every time they attack the line, they've got really good leg footwork. The defensive players can't set themselves, and that's why they keep getting quick play the balls.
So England have possession, 15 inside their own half. And rid of Plummer. I don't think that was his intention when he got the ball, that he was going to attack the line, but he ended up with that presented in front of him. Long ball from Sinfield out to that right centre. Watkins on halfway. Big experience for him. Going to be around a long time if he keeps improving. Callum Watkins. Now Ben Westwood. They tried to tell me he's the SBW. Super Ben Westwood, the England fans. Let's see if that eventuates today. Tompkins bombs from 35 metres out. Locke is going to get nowhere near it. It comes back. New Zealand have position to grab it. They haven't. So, Graham's put it again. He thinks he's playing for Arsenal. Now the ball is up with Nightingale. Nightingale's back over the 40. And Ben Cummins has called it back. Premature excitement there.
It's exactly the sort of scenario we don't want. That's twice. Obviously, it was the referee's taking it back this time, but we do not want to give the Kiwis broken field situation, because with the footwork and the elusive runners that they've got, you know, we really could be in a bit of trouble there.
Tompkins it was who went up and got the football and pushed it back. Just trying to think the play before, when you see Hargraves on the ground, maybe he gets a hand on it there before Graham comes up with the Pele kick. Let's have a look again. Tompkins out the back. Is there a hand here touched? Elijah Taylor somewhat shields it as Hargraves was thinking about picking it up. Oh, he's got everything, hasn't he?
What about you? You've gone back to Pele, Darryl. There's been a few stars in the world of football since Pele.
Come on. What about Gascoigne?
Don't you read the papers?
Well, Van Persie then.
Oh, here we go, James.
He's not an Englishman. What are you talking about?
Not a great deal of similarity between Pele and Graham. As we go across field with England now. Ferris steady out of the scrum, the modern day scrum. There's only 2 forwards in it. And Sinfield right up to the line. Quick hands. Tompkins, beautiful. Watkins, Charnley. Charnley with a chance. The cover's there. Loose ball. Sinfield onto it. Foran, Goodwin, Locke. Pile drive in for the New Zealand defence. 10 away from the line. They're set again. Tompkins across with O'Loughlin. Widdop double pumps, then runs out of options. He did 1, he did 2, and then he was forced to accept the tackle of Williams and Taylor. Graham right up to the line, flat ball. This will be a tie. O'Loughlin's over. Sean O'Loughlin has gone over for England. One of the veterans of the squad has scored. But James Graham, how good is he going here for England?
I'll take over. That was a beautiful short pass, and as we spoke about, that short support player just coming off his shoulder. All Starling this forward, bang. Beautiful work between the forwards.
Oh, isn't it second row or front row to front row? Graham to Burgess, and then just the big man able to get the right arm free. Let's work it out. This all started on the right-hand side of the field where they've actually exposed Bryson Goodwin's left defensive edge for New Zealand, made 2 or 3 damaging block runs down that side, and then they've stacked it on the left-hand side with some pretty heavy arsenal in terms of Burgess and also Graham. And then the lock forward squeezes out the back. Brilliant play.
Well, he's one of the players. Well, you've got to think he's not going to be around, obviously, in 4 years' time at the next World Cup. Lachlan, 31 tomorrow. This man on screen, we know Kevin Sinfield, 33 years of age. Ben Westwood, 32. Rob Burrow, we're going to see off the bench, 31. This is their last chance. They find themselves in front. A long, long way to go. But they've negotiated the first part of the game plan. That was to start well, to physically match New Zealand. They've done that. And now they're kicking for 6-0. Sinfield's kick. Kevin Sinfield adds the extra 2. And in the first of the semi-finals, the big hit from Wembley. England 6, New Zealand 0.
Well, now we'll see what the world champions have made of. Down 6-0 in this one. Lovely interchange between a forward pack who have had little of the ball so far in this game. New Zealand's had the majority of it. And for all the pressure McNamara has been under, his team has started brilliantly.
Extraordinary how little football Sean O'Loughlin has played coming into the World Cup. Just the Challenge Cup final, then the Grand Final. Captain of both there for Wigan. But a multitude of problems with an Achilles injury in more recent times. Here he is on another big stage today.
The man's fitness levels absolutely incredible. It's almost superhuman that he can play so little number of games, yet coming up with very high standard performances in the highest standard of games.
Subtle change here for New Zealand. Matalino comes off. Or comes on, shall I say.
Oh! Release Elijah!
Cudjoe, the man to play it on the 20, gets in a bit of a wrestle as he got to his feet with Taylor. Cummins just allowed it quite rightly to continue. Just boys being boys on a big day. Now the try scorer has a run with a bit of footwork there, got him past the front line. Williams made the tackle, quick play the ball. Roby's off for England. Now look at them roll through. As Burgess plays it outside the New Zealand 40, last tackle. Big centre field bomb coming down for Kevin Lock. They know they're in a ball game, this New Zealand side. Lock with it. It is a huge step up from previous games at this World Cup for the Kiwis.
You'd have to say the play of the balls by the English team are superior at this part of the game than the Kiwis. They seem to be controlling the ruck speed so far.
So New Zealand set a field in 4, and they've wanted to play some football, and they've had some offloads early, but just at the moment, momentum is with England. Played by Goodwin. Little short side shot for the captain, Mannering. Biggest occasion today, has played in the Grand Final, but to captain his nation here at Wembley, I dare say, biggest moment of his life. Big run, and Martelino 5 inside the England half. Johnson, now here is a man who can put up a wobbly old bomb to try and catch. Hall has got the job, doesn't. And now takes on Tuivasa-Sheck. In fact, 3 Kiwis there.
Move now!
2 contrasting wingers on this side. You've got the power of Ryan Hall, the size and the aerial dominance against the unbelievable footwork of Tuivasa-Sheck.
There's an error here from Cudjoe. He comes in to Elijah Taylor, I think it is. He tries to bump him with a front bump. In fact, it's Dean Farray who gets a hand in there and loses the football. So this will be well received by the Kiwis.
Yeah, bad moment there for the Huddersfield Giant. Not happy, Leroy Cudjoe. He's put his team under pressure. You don't want to be giving quality opposition like New Zealand 6-6 to start this close to your own line. Cassiano is now out there.
It's England ball.
For New Zealand. In fact, they're going to call it an England scrum feed, are they? They're going to say this was stripped by Farray, so not a bad moment at all in the end for Cudjoe.
Send it in there, Kevin.
I don't know. What did you think of that one, Darryl?
Well, one-on-one strip, the ball would have had to been raked forward from Dean Farray. I thought it pretty much dropped down and then went back towards their own try.
So England have it outside their 20, and Graham took the first one. Roby sends them back to the left, and Burgess loving the combat that he's finding in the middle of the field here at Wembley. O'Loughlin Sending the left, Ferris dribbles a pass out the back. Cudjoe's onto it for England. And they are 10 metres inside their own half. Cassiano tried to snap him in half in the tackle with Madalino. Now there your backup front rowers, Madalino and Cassiano. On for Waria Hargreaves and Bromwich. There's no Sam Moa today. He's been left out of the 17.
Sam now!
Can't think of a stronger group of front rowers in any international side as Tompkins, another bomb, centre field. Look at this kick from Tompkins. It's a goal! He's clipped Johnson on the head. Then Graham's gone for a field goal on shore. James Graham took a step. He has got every kick in the book. They're all poor, but he's got every kick in the book.
What is going through that head? First the kick off the ground, the Falcon from Sean Johnson, and then the field goal? James Graham.
Yes, Yogi.
What next?
Oh, dear me, where'd that come from? Hasn't he got the whole game on show, Sean? You're one of the great tactical kickers of all time.
You'll be doing a kick-off next.
Well, it is Wembley after all, and I said Wembley does funny things to you.
And Sean Johnson. What about Sean Johnson and his highlight career book? Hitting the head. They call it a Falcon here at Wembley. In front of over 60,000. Got to hurt a little bit, hasn't it? Cassiano, soft ball, soft hands there. On for Madalino, offload back for Big Sam. The Human Island is offloaded with risk. And Winnip is beautiful to snaffle it. And then does a somersault. It's all good. England again, back into the battle.
From his Burgess, he loves the rough stuff.
What's Sam doing? Run the football, Sam. 3 passes and 2 touches.
Cassiano over the top. They are Bulldogs teammates in the National Rugby League. And Lachlan growing in confidence. Winnip has done well today inside the danger man Tompkins. He's bowled him over. He's knocked over 1 Kiwi and 1 Englishman.
England's right side offence is looking really, really dangerous. Every time they attack around that side, they look like they're going to potentially going to make a break.
Ferris is standing. Ferris offload. Thought he had an opportunity. 15 from the line. Little sneaky shot here to the end goal. Locke wants it to go down. He had to plan it. He's had to take a dead Kevin Locke. 6-0 to England. Line dropout coming up for New Zealand.
You know, I've got to say, the English are handling the surface a lot better than the Kiwis. See so many Kiwis lying on the ground and being beaten for footwork and attack in the attack of this English side. Sonny Bill Williams got held up all ends there before they go to the last play option, and the kick just perfect from Roby.
Man on screen, James Roby turned 28 yesterday. I mentioned Sean O'Loughlin, the first try scorer. He turns 31 tomorrow. So sandwiched between those celebrations is this big match.
I really feel this next set 6 is vital. You can see the Kiwis trying to take the time trying to suck the air in, because you know, the English have completed 10 out of 11 sets, and coming in set here, and if we can score another try or even get a penalty, go 8-0 up, I think it'll be a big advantage for us.
Cassiano coming up on Graham. All a bit sloppy from New Zealand, and straight through goes Sir Sam Burgess. But not only get it in, it was O'Loughlin flying through, but we've got a penalty to England. A penalty to England, 10 metres out.
Burgess with a lovely step that totally evades Elijah Taylor. And then Kieran Foran comes up with a play on Widdop. He's ruled to take him out of play. The ball was sort of heading his direction, but he made contact with him before the ball was received. And if O'Loughlin somehow manages to pick that ball up with his left hand, they're in for their second.
Yeah, I could sense that the New Zealanders were rocking a little bit there, and unfortunately the last pass didn't go to Hambra. I really do feel England have taken the right decision here by going 8 points up. You know, it's a big game. I honestly feel like not a bad idea to take the points.
You know, New Zealand had all the possession for the first 10 minutes of the game, and the scramble D by England, you know, declined them points. And now in the last 10 minutes, they've had all the football, England, and now nearly 60% up to 40.
Well, they're confident about Sinfield landing the kick, aren't they? They've got the huddle behind it. They get a shock of their lives if he hit the upright here. Sam Burgess magnificent. Graham likewise up front for England. They got Chris Hill and George Burgess to come off the bench. Their front row rotation, I should be talking them up. 8-0 England, 25 minutes in. Burgess, how proud would Mum be today, Julie? Seeing her sons, I mean, Sam said before the game, lifelong dream. It was a dream of his late dad Mark to see his sons play here. Sam and George get the opportunity today. Mum Julie able to watch it as well. Brothers Thomas and Luke, I'm sure they're proud as punch. And a big moment too later today, another First Lady of Rugby League, Jackie Sims, with her two boys, Tarek and Ashton, playing for Fiji against Australia. Corbin Sims suspended. But good luck to them. Julie Burgess, Jackie Sims, footy mums, where would we be without them? Here come England, back again, Burgess again.
There's no late footwork there, was there? Let's come on, let's have it.
Oh, Sean Edwards, he's loving this. A penalty to England. Someone get Sean a cup of tea, will you? Just put your feet up there, Sean. Nah, it's great fun, this. I said earlier, honour and privilege to be here calling this at Wembley, and the match is matching the occasion.
He started with some defence, his brother Sam, that was George on screen there, and then he worked into the attacking part of the game, provided a lovely little offload for the first try, and then a lovely run up through the middle of the ruck to evade players with a step to provide points for a second penalty. He is having a wow of a game with Sam Burgess.
This bloke goes well too, Ferris. I think he wasn't even part of the squad until the exit of Gareth Hock before the first game, and now Ferris has been there the whole lot. That looked a forward ball from Whittam. He sort of planted his feet.
But the passing's crisp, isn't it?
Westwood was the man who carried it forward. Graham wants another touch. His stats will be massive by the end of this first half. He produced in the quarterfinal very flat again. Whittam and Ferris on that left edge. Went into the ground by Farre. But New Zealand, they're under pressure. Short side, O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin there for Cudjoe. Cudjoe close to the line. There's white, there's black. Jumpers everywhere. And over the sideline he goes. And New Zealand this time pats on the back.
I actually think New Zealand have done really well to come out this period of extensive pressure, only having conceded 2 points so far, you know, because England have been all over them the last five or 6 minutes.
That was a lovely little short side raid, wasn't it? Summed up the numbers and the options, and the little pass with three in a tight channel. Only just got out of jail here. Sonny Bill, we haven't seen a lot of football. We need some possession to see his attacking prowess. And he's been heavily attacked in defence to maybe take some of the juice out of him in this first 26, 27 minutes.
Just after 1:30 local time here, Rugby League from Wembley Stadium, and we're 28 minutes into this first semi-final. The winner books a place for Old Trafford in Manchester next week, where there have been in excess of 70,000 tickets sold. Remembering the highest World Cup crowd of 73,000 back for the '92 final here at the old Wembley. Great Britain and Australia. Steve Renouf scored a magic try for the Kangaroos in that final. Williams plays it short of halfway. Johnson has them guessing what he's going to do. Puts in a pretty poor kick by his standards. And the decision has to be made whether England played at it. Ben Cummins says no. England scrum feed.
Yeah, I think that was the right decision. Not there was any play out the ball whatsoever, and it's a great rule that they brought in. You know, recently, I know back in my day, you've kicked the ball against somebody purposely half the time, but I think England have really got another good field position, another set going at New Zealand, and you know, the game's really on here.
To be fair, it was a poor kick by Johnson. He didn't take the ball to the line. Ferris was actually 2 or 3 metres away from him before he struck the football, and then it rolls into him. So Sean should have taken the ball to the line, got to the outside of Ferris, and then put it through.
But England tried trick play here.
With Graham?
Well, they had their
What
kicker
tricks
there.
has Graham got?
Tompkins has put it down. And Alex Glenn latched onto it. Glenn into the 17 wearing jumper number 19. So New Zealand get an unexpected opportunity from that scrum. Played there by Nightingale now with a bandage.
Very disappointing turnover there from England. They obviously put Graham in there to New Zealand's expecting to truck it up, but they put it out the back pass, and they actually had the numbers on the outside, and unfortunately the ball didn't go to hand when he dropped it.
Cassiano proved a handful there. Luke and Foran, one missed tackle. Foran goes through, hit by Tompkins. Senfield, just 3 metres from the line. Now it's the Kiwis' turn. Johnson, Williams offers a fan, cut off low, good defence. Ferris, he's the man, it's come loose as well. Williams, oh, he's able to hang on. Last tackle for New Zealand. Foreign will kick out towards Charlie. Up goes Nightingale, big bet back. Mannering's there for New Zealand. Still the last tackle. It's on the deck. It's play on for Luke. Luke 8 metres away. Oh, long ball on the bounce. Tuivasa on the far right, and Tuivasa's check has scored. Dean Farray may have produced a great Wembley moment. Was he over the sideline or was he in play when he flicked it back in? There is a huge roll of the dice here from New Zealand, but they may have come up a winner big time.
Okay, so a run at 3 from the very first kick, confirming the onside offside. Okay, it's coming up now. That's fine, they're all onside. Just run it through, confirm the challenge goes backwards. Okay, it's a challenge, which is fine, goes backwards. Still playing on, just keep running. No hands there, play on to the New Zealand hand, that's fine. Pass out. Now we need something tight on the touchline here at that point. Okay, can't see the feet, got the feet now. He has possession. The foot is in the air, the right foot is in the air. He still has possession. Both feet are now in the air. He has released the ball. Let's play on.
What a shot,
now we need to look at the grounding now.
What about that shot?
I
Okay,
couldn't even think of one word. Incredible. That's the best last tackle play I've ever seen in my whole life.
Did you ever hold your breath while the footwork was maybe just going out and then held in suspense?
There must have been about 9 offloads leading up to that, but
It's
absolutely
extraordinary. The ball has hit the deck 3 times in the lead-up, and Tuivasa has a 7th try for the tournament. But wherever you're watching around the world, you've witnessed something extraordinary from Dean Farray.
It all started with a run from Foreign. He decided to take the line on himself. It was the first time he's done so in the match. And then after putting a kick up to the corner, the far left corner, the ball somehow found its way back across when Isaac Luke shuffled the ball out the back, and the bounce, the pass looked like it was going into touch. Would have caught it in the first row. And then it bounced forward. Farray with the magical pass behind his back to find the footwork of Tuivasa Shack. And they needed it.
sensational rugby league football. Absolutely sensational.
Well, a sensational half. As Johnson gets his first kick, would have had dreams about this throughout the week. It's a big one for him. It's such a tight battle. Goal kicking is so vital. 21 out, 6 in from touch. Kiwi number 7. To get them within 2. Beautiful strike from Sean Johnson. That's a good confidence build-up.
That's nice for Sean. Magical moment for him. Would have sweated on it. Here's the pass. What about the bounce of this? And Faray's decision to make a play at it and not let it go dead. Brilliance.
You can't blame the sideline official not for making a decision. He's looking at it going, himself he's going, wow,
He said, what's going on?
I tell you what, that's been one of the greatest sporting photographs of all time.
Exactly.
Him offloading it back inside with his right hand. Absolutely sensational.
And now the big tackle from England driving through. Hill is out there in the headgear.
That's a better run from Big Sam Cassiano.
Just short of the 20 at 8 points to 6. England leading New Zealand. We're 7 minutes away from half-time. No one in the crowd, certainly not in this commentary area, wants a half-time break. Just let them play. Wonderful first half. And Luke now with the ball. Across field he goes. He's been also one of the stars of the tournament. Every game he's played, and we know Thomas Lillaway's had a lot more game time than would have been forecast. That kick came off the back, and now away goes Tuivasa Sheck. Look at the way he can put the brakes on. Roger Last tackle changeover. He thought the tackle category started for New Zealand in the middle of that.
Go.
So it's England's turn with the ball. Brother Burgess is there. Big George, 21 on this stage today, and now for Hill. An improver he has been in English football. Tackled by Madalino. Burrow has dummy half duties. The front row all changes here for England. And loose ball, Burrow kept it going for Sinfield. And it comes with Watkins, stands them up. Charlie gets away from Foran. Charlie hit and bouncing almost all the way through. Was finished off by Glenn and penalty England.
Again, that was the work of Burgess. 3 in the tackle and the offload out the back to create some second phase plays on the right-hand side for Chanley. Showed us some good footwork.
Sala got up as if to say he's innocent. Into the furnace he goes here as Burgess looks to carry 2 over. Right on the goal line. What a contrast, Big George and little Rob, dummy half Rob Burrow. As there's a big dummy, Sinfield is back front on. What a tackle, Kevin Locke saves a try. To the left come England. Inside pass was there for Tompkins. And again, the goal line defence, brilliant from New Zealand. That was Madalino. Kick will come from Whittam towards the upright, bounced up. Fielded there by Foran. Foran is head front on. This is a real test match, ladies and gentlemen, this one.
Brutal football. Brilliant creativity from the English team going in. I thought absolutely amazing defence from the Kiwis. I mean, to get on the end of that kick, and then the English guy just came in and put him over the try line. More pressure for New Zealand, I think.
The covering tackle of Matalino on Tompkins was a ripper. This is Chanley looking for some space inside. Kevin Locke gets a little bit of a check on him. And here's, well, pretty much this is what a repeat set of 6, a penalty. And then when the kick goes through from Witter, look at the work of Foran. He's only got one intention, straight through and over the top. Burrow down low, Burgess over the top. How many? 1, 2, 3.
Here come the cavalry.
The American viewers, they say, these guys don't wear pads. I mean, have a look at the way they are, figuratively speaking, bashing each other here today. George Burgess back, almost hurdled over the top, and Madalino and Locke, 2 of their goal line tackles in that previous set were from the top shelf. The Burrow runs off and Williams grabbed him. 15 from the line. Here come England again. 1 try all of this first half. 2 points the difference on the scoreboard. Hill keeps it going. There's a chance. Oh, now Burnett now. They all want to kick. The ball is ricocheted. And it's play on. In fact, tackle count restarts. England with another opportunity. A full set with Hill. They settle. 5 from the line. Goodwin entering. Madalino all there. Burrow. Now they're deep to the left, Whittam and Tompkins, quick hands. Another chance for Cudjoe. Johnson made the tackle with Williams. This is intense pressure on the Kiwis. To centre field with a captain and a great tackle. Captain on captain, in fact. Mannering swamps infield there. Burrow across, gets them guessing. Cudjoe to hole, 1-on-1 with Tuivasa-Sheck. Loose pass, in fact, they're going to say gone forward. The earlier ball had gone forward.
I honestly feel England missed a beat there. They kept attacking this side where Sonny Billy's, and I actually think the defence on the right side of the New Zealand team is much stronger than the left side defence. They need to be attacking down England's right, New Zealand's left, where they've had so much joy so far in the first half.
I'm just going to say, where's this play been from England in the World Cup? They knew if they could put it together, they'd trouble them. They're playing superbly. What they're trying to do is open the right side defence up. Dean Farrow's particularly good on this right side for New Zealand, but if they open up and provide enough space for any opposition with all the football they can, they are so dangerous. Their kicks are perfect.
I told you, it's the Wembley factor. You lot won't believe me.
So Nightingale, and in that previous play, I sort of checked on the call because Sam Burgess had to look twice. He put the kick in. Do you have any front rows who don't kick? Sure. Well, they all kick. We've seen Graham and Burgess today. I know we've seen George put a kick in before. So now Williams can't dominate. All good ball though there. Johnson was alert to it. Just squeezes them out. does Sonny Bill Williams. Coming into this tournament and never won a test match for New Zealand. Now he's looking to add a World Cup in Rugby League to a World Cup in Rugby Union. Nuasala, Frank Paul. Here's a 5 minute. There's another offload back to Luke coming up to half-time. This is dangerous from New Zealand and a penalty to the Kiwis. 35 minutes out. Held off the ball there. This is 20 in from touch.
We've seen a lot of late offloads in this match when players seem to be tackled and heading to ground and then the ball pops out the back. Possession the key here for New Zealand. I don't think 2 is the option.
Well, I think the message is coming in off the bench to go for goal. The trainers have sprinted out there. This is not an on-ground decision. I'm sure the players on ground were kicking for line, but the trainers came sprinting out. Go for the post.
Yeah, what about that? Did you see that arm come around the back from Frank Paul Nuasala? Then promoting the football. Kevin Locke doing what all good fullbacks should do and hunt up around the ruck.
Yeah, decision to go for goal. Some of what we spoke about before, Darryl, many times in the big rugby league games. I know there's a modern trend to tap the ball and go, but in the big games, the tight games, when England gave a chance up to kick a goal, could have been winning by 10-6 now. But unfortunately, they didn't. They tapped it. They took the chance, and obviously New Zealand take a more conservative approach.
And here's another thing. I mean, in the modern game, we don't see a lot of shots from penalties. And from this sort of position, this isn't a kick that Sean would practice. 20 metres in from touch and 30 from out, and he's at a foreign venue for it. It's no gimme, this kick. I'm building him up to miss. I don't mean to.
Wembley's not a gimme at all. In front is not a gimme. Struck his first one knocks from right of the post, right touch line, about the same distance. Here comes a
this for a ball. Minute out from half-time. Johnson's kick in flight. Sean Johnson never looked like missing. Who doubted him? Good. Did you miss that? It is 8-8 here with a minute to go. The big hit, the first half of 2 matches we're going to see. Australia and Fiji still to come. But boy, it's going to be a hard act to follow what we've seen this first half here. England have had slightly more ball in the first half, 52% possession. Offload starting to hurt though, and that will play a factor in the second half. New Zealand has shown us their ability to offload. Completion rates for both teams above 75% here. Coaches would be happy with that on an occasion such as this one. Bromwich out there with the 12-4 interchange they use in international football gives the coaches a little bit more license to use their and rotate their front rows. We're seeing that here. So final seconds of a pulsating first half. Siren sounds. Ben Cummins says, boys, you can have a rest. You've certainly earned it. What a first 40 minutes of rugby league at the World Cup. First semi-final. England started superbly. New Zealand have had to gallop up and stay with them. Half-time, England and New Zealand 8-8. We're all set for the second half. Here we go. Second period of play started by Isaac Luke. Let's hope it's as good as the first. At 8-8, England and New Zealand. It was 8-0 at one stage to the home team. Rob Burrow remains out there with the dummy half duties. And I can tell you here at Wembley too, to our viewers through New Zealand and Australia, there are grand stadiums, Eden Park in Auckland and ANZ Stadium in Sydney, but I think Wembley's a little grander. It is quite the day here, and Burgess with the ball, and these players lucky enough to experience it here in a World Cup semi. So first set starting as it did in the first half, rather torrid. O'Loughlin did well there, last tackle. The kick off the boot of Burrow onto the run goes Locke. He's a bit of a mixed afternoon, the New Zealand fullback. Got his chance ahead of Josh Hoffman in the quarterfinal last week against Scotland and has held his spot for the semi. And Tuivasa-Sheck may still be the game breaker, 5 short of halfway. New Zealand with the ball, and Luke for Frank Paul And, well, Isaac Luke playing policeman there, says Frank Paul, don't worry about it. And now Mannering does the same. Something has got Frank Paul Nuisala upset there.
Yeah, let's have a look at, well, just a second push really from Christopher Hill. There's Frank Paul Nuisala. Palms the ball at him.
Not really enough to go off though, is it?
It's a cheap penalty though from the English, giving up field position to New Zealand. A little bit like the game started in the first half. Let's hope England's defence is as strong as it was in that period.
So no stage of New Zealand led this semi-final, but they will get the first chance to score in their second half. Set begins 35 metres out from the line, and it's with Jesse Bromwich, who backs his way almost to the 10-metre line. Hill there with Ferris to make the tackle. Luke, and they roll forward with Frank Paul Nuisala. And tackled by Burgess and Sinfield there. Pressure on England here. Johnson, this is big pressure. Williams has got long arms, but not long enough to score. In a 5-man tackle, right on the goal line. Luke out the back. There was an opportunity if they could have spread it. Foran couldn't find the way to get the ball there. Burgess with a tackle. Luke dummy half. Won't ever go himself that time. Johnson, now it was touched there by Hall. Hall will come up with it. It will be called back for the knock-on. But he had to do it. There was 3-on-2 up wide.
I thought that was great defence by the English on that side, because the New Zealanders have big numbers on us.
This is what they've done really well this afternoon, is they've pushed up hard off their line, so they've taken space off New Zealand. When the block runners run through, look where they are.
Let's go, New Zealand.
Cudjoe with the hand on it, but he's actually in advance of the Kiwi players, shutting the ball down. You can't get the ball to the outside, which is the objective of what New Zealand want to do.
Yeah, they've varied the defensive systems. Sometimes they've gone up and out and held the position, and other times like that they've gone in and done what they call a spot blitz.
This was the hand of Cudjoe that prevented any progress there for New Zealand. But it's another set of 6, 10 metres out from the line. Played by Tuivasa-Sheck. This is Luke. Don't be surprised if he has a go in a moment. Isaac Luke.
George now, release.
Bromwich to play it. Just 3 metres away from the line. Here's Luke. There's Johnson leaping onto the ball. Look, here's the chance in the corner. Tuivasa-Sheck, deadly step. Absolutely deadly. He's got a double in the semi-final. Hang on a second. Just want to check this one. But Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, I reckon he could get his way past the guards at Buckingham Palace. They wouldn't catch him.
White to start with, yeah. Okay, checking for obstruction. It's fine. All right with that. He's caught it on the outside. Passes before. I'm happy with that, yep. Grab the ball straight away, it'll be a try, Benny.
First replay, the voice of Ashley Klein, your hearing video referee. I think Cudjoe was the man at error. Was he coming in a little too far then?
I think if you look, the try's been awarded now. There might have been just a hint of a suspicion when Farah goes in and runs in front of the football. It just takes a little bit of time off Cudjoe. But courtesy of a nice couple of runs up the middle to hold the English close to the post. And I'm talking about a run from Bromwich and then a quick play the ball. Give Sean Johnson the time to work his numbers out the back. Kevin Lock's got this position at fullback sign up after Hoffman played the first 3 games. And he's done this because he's the link man out the back. Summed it up particularly well. A nice catch and pass to give Tuivasa-Sheck just a little bit of time needed to show us that footwork to beat the guards at Buckingham Palace, as you called it, Bossy.
Yeah, I don't think Stephen Attenborough was too pleased with Reinaldo. He probably didn't quite need to step in at that time, but I think it goes all the way back, and I don't want to keep bringing it up, but discipline is a huge part of winning big games, and that penalty given away by Chris Hill, you know, gave us the New Zealanders 2 sets of 6, and it's ended up with a try.
It's flattened the crowd a little too. As Johnson kicks for a converted try lead here for 14-8. Sean Johnson has just missed to the side of the posts. 12-8 the scoreline. Those 2 wingers on that side of the ground now going head-to-head. Tuivasa-Sheck and Hall have now each scored 8 tries for the tournament, the leaders at this World Cup. and he has scored at least one in every match, but never more than two. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck.
That kid's been the star of the show so far. I think he's not a player who's probably that famous over here in the UK, but he's certainly going to be after performances like today.
Yeah, well, and a lot of the New Zealand games, as we watch the restart, and Frank Nuasala, Oxhorns again, but a lot of fans have come along to see Sonny Bill Williams, to be honest, and they've left the game talking about Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. They've come in to see SPW, they walk away saying, what about RTS? He's more famous. What a talent. And here's Bromwich offloading again. There's another one, and away goes Luke. And the captain linking up. They certainly can offload, and it's not restricted to 2 or 3 players. It's 7 or 8 players who can stand in there.
Lovely little ball from Frank Paul there to Johnson. Good tip on play.
This kick from Kevin Locke, another kicking option there for New Zealand, fielded on the fly by Charnley. Now the battle is on England to come from behind for the first time in the match.
This is a better start now. Johnson caught on the last play, so Locke steps up on the right and puts a little kick in. Hall going cross field.
2 down. Give you space.
They don't want to get to the stage where there's that feeling of inevitability about the scoreline. If New Zealand was to skip in front by 12, they have to muster and find the energy they had in the first half. It's a tough period for them. Ferris over the 30 that time.
Release now, Isaac.
And Luke there with Mannering. Mannering up with the leading tacklers for New Zealand so far today. Widdop goes the right side, Sinfield onto Tompkins. Well, this is the time for Tompkins to deliver in their second half, to really stand up, be the playmaker we know he can be. Sinfield sets for that kick, can't find the grass. Look out, here comes Roger. And Roger back over the 30-metre line. Roger to a Hill there with O'Loughlin. 12 points to 8 after England led 8-0 at one stage in the first half.
That's too short.
7.5 minutes into the second half of this first semi. And another penalty goes the way of New Zealand, and Hill and O'Loughlin find themselves infringing that time.
It's good work, it's good perseverance from the veteran winger, Nightingale. Look at the fight here, just pushing, working himself around. Well, to be fair, he might have milked it a little. O'Loughlin a little bit.
A little?
A little?
He got 5 litres of milk out of that.
Oh, that's a terrible penalty for the referee to give away against England. The guy completely just flopped on the floor and just completely fooled the referee there.
I'm with you, Sean. As I told you before, my grandmother on my father's side, she was English. I'm with you, brother. Pass there from Bromwich on for Farray. Nice stepping of him. That was Tuivasa-Sheck like. Now quick hands, and New Zealand suddenly have themselves on top in this game. Williams to play it 22 metres away from the England line. Luke is doing well, centre of the park. Frank Nuasala, knowing this may be the only minutes he gets. Another strong run. Bromwich, plenty of touches for him right now. Jesse Bromwich, 5 from the line. O'Loughlin and Hill and Ferris make the tackle. Here come New Zealand again. 9 minutes into the second half. Long ball to Johnson. Back to centre field. Williams is close again. Williams looked to stretch out. Sonny Bill, they have a close look at it. Penalty New Zealand now. Another one.
That's a massive call here. Sonny Bill Williams attracts the defence. It's a lovely play, positioned on the inside of Johnson, a nice flat ball, and then hitting and spinning, and he's got a right arm carry, and sometimes he carries it, well, a bit like a pineapple in one hand, and here with the attention of players over the top, they believe, and they were screaming, the English players, saying it was raked out.
Okay.
Nice mention of food, Darryl. Pineapple. Here's Bromwich with the ball.
Okay,
and a lovely potato and leek soup last night. Good soup weather right at the moment. As here come New Zealand. Luke to the right side. Johnson. Quick hands lock on the outside. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck again. This time England have the answers. Hall comes up with the ball.
He even offloaded it, then he got rid of it. That time, the guy's magical.
Great stuff though in defence to cover up the dangerous Tuivasa-Sheck. Now the crowd lift as England shows some fighting spirit. And Hill with the ball. 10 gone, second half. 4-point margin. Sinfield to centre field. They need to find Burgess. Finding the form he had in the first half. Burgess and Graham. Graham has just run back out there for England. Game on again. If he finds the form of the first half, Westwood carried 15 stitches after the opening match of the tour against Australia. Kick on the bounce. Lock has it. Now England would love an error from New Zealand at the moment. Now back to the 30. This was the play to Vasicek. Where did that ball come from?
Well, it was get it in field at any cost, wasn't it? Actually rolled it forward.
In the middle. Wait.
4 players on him.
Been very impressed with the bench from New Zealand. I think they've had a really positive impact in this the early part of the second half. You know, really good, strong yardage up the middle and creating quick play the balls.
I think you're talking the likes of Frank Paul Nuasala. He's been tireless as Isaac Luke gets up the middle.
He was almost through. Last tackle, New Zealand. Johnson. Some of these chasers look offside. Lots getting through there. Up goes Tompkins. And they do call. Oh, hang on a second. They've come up with penalty, New Zealand. I thought 1 or 2 of the chasers may have been in front of the kicker. But a lot going New Zealand's way here.
I've got to say, Vossi, I'm not all that happy with this all, because this has been going on all tournament. Players taking players out and trying to shield people, protecting them, catching the football. And it hasn't been adjudicated fairly across the board. I think we need to bring in a play that says, if you're not attempting to catch the football, don't be in the area. If you're looking to shield or give protection, then you're going to put yourself at the referee's discretion for a penalty. But it hasn't been ruled that way during the tournament.
I've got to say, it did look like a penalty, though. I mean, I'm obviously, you know, very, very much behind the English team, but, you know, he did run his line there and he did block him.
Yeah, I don't disagree in that angle with it, Sean, but it hasn't been adjudicated that way in the tournament. Players have been left to get away with sort of loitering in the area and just looking like they're doing something when they're not.
Once again, you see New Zealand looking to take the points.
It's a great take by Tompkins. I still go back to the high shot. I thought watching it live, Foran was offside. I watched the replay. I'm pretty sure Locke was okay, in line with the kicker. But Foran, for mine, was offside, which would mean first penalty to England. But it's not the way the on-ground officials have ruled. If it had been a try, they would have come back to look at that. Kicker that chases onside. Johnson takes the lead to 6. 14-8 it is. 12 into the second half. Certainly not fatal, the conceding of the 2 points, but a little bit of damage done all the same.
Yeah, there's definitely been a momentum shift in the last, you know, since the start of the second half in particular, and England have been hanging on a little bit, but I feel like we get a couple of penalties or, you know, a couple of quick play the balls or a line break, we can get ourselves back in the game. 9-4
penalty count now to New Zealand. 9-4. And it's a rush of penalties that have come since half-time. As Jared Warrior-Hargreaves, what about his opening to the match? Did he attract some attention? And New Zealand in front by 6. That's an interesting position there. Callum Watkins, he just froze the upending tackle on Nightingale. Quite rightly, no penalty. No one was in danger of being hurt. Another run from Cassiano. I think he's enjoyed his food over here.
Oh, that's a great run from Alex Glenn. A little step towards the left. Good footwork. Sonny Bill now left.
Last tackle this set following the goal from Johnson. Second half possession massive in favour of New Zealand. Another high ball. Tompkins, great last time. He goes up again and he does the job again. Sam Tompkins. Good work by the England #1. And straight away shifting it across the hall. Getting a rare touch, really, for Ryan Hall in this semi.
I realise New Zealand have had a lot of the ball so far in this half, but the standard of play has definitely gone up 10-15% from what it was in the first half.
Graham Silakime run back towards Setterfield. And Roby, so they've got the starting front row back on. Burgess, Roby and Graham.
I think that's been definitely a good move from Steve McNamara, because there's no doubt that I think New Zealand have slightly had the edge on the bench. The bench impact from New Zealand has been slightly better than England.
Tompkins, big kick to Vasicek, cannot put a foot wrong at the moment. Widdop does well to make the tackle. That's not easy.
He did really well to take that ball from Tompkins as well. Put a nice kick out with Sinfield, or Widdop comes in with a tackle on Nightingale, but he had to work really, really hard. Bryson Goodwin up through the middle finds a little bit of a block and a channel, and raked.
Oh, another penalty. Penalty count now, 10-4 to England. Against England, rather. Is it 5 straight? Am I right in that 5 straight? Maybe here to New Zealand.
And Sean Edwards beside me just bangs his leg and says, we can't afford another one of those.
Okay, Sean.
2 in the tackle, and you're right, Sean.
Very unusual, you know. O'Loughlin's usually a very disciplined player, but, you know, there's no doubt that discipline has hugely benefited New Zealand. Yeah, there's a couple of calls gone their way, and there's no doubt, you know, I'm sure Steve McNamara not be happy with a couple of the referees' decisions, but in the end, there's been maybe 3 penalties which definitely could have been avoided.
Saw Frank Purcell on the bench. Big ice pack rid of his cars, let me tell you. But maybe the last we see of him today, as now Mannering, and they're getting right up the line. Cassiano's lost it. What's the call this time? Cummins says play on. Tompkins with it. Tompkins has got away from Glenn. Here goes Sam Tompkins. Steps Luke, gets over the 40. And brings the crowd back into the game. Now they want a penalty. They want to buy a penalty here.
He had the whistle at his lips, Cummins.
No response. Roby's almost lost the short. Sinfield's back downfield. Crowd find their full. Oh, Sam Cassiano, that's not fair. You can't come and do that. Off the top turnbuckle there. Bit of, oh, hang on a second. We've got the touch judge ruling that the shot was high, and the communication reaches Cummins via pigeon, and he says penalty.
I think we should take the points. The reason being, I think New Zealand are quite fresh at the moment. They haven't done a lot of tackling. It's probably, well, they've gone for the high-risk play. Let's hope it comes off.
I didn't see the high shot. He just ragdolled him.
All right. The moment comes for England at 14-8. 16 and a half minutes into the second half. Let's see what they've got. Roby to Sinfield. Sinfield to Westwood, hit hard and still offloaded. And Tompkins manhandled there by Nightingale and Goodwin. They stand over their prey. Shortest of raids there on the blind side for England. Watkins kept it going. He hasn't seen a great deal of footy. Now with another chance for Hill. And Nightingale and Maria Hargreaves get in the wrestle. Listen to the crowd now at Wembley, the England fans. Graham, Sinfield, Widdop, lined up left side. Tompkins slips. And Williams, easy tackle for him. 15 from the line, keep going left. Widdop is so strong. Just 5 from the line, last tackle. Roby has a little look up. He tries a kick. It's off the big legs of Cassiano. They say 6 more. Tompkins has got it. He ruled that Cassiano played at it. Full set again for England. Again, the match, the ebb and the flow. Roby contained 5 from the line. 14-8 to the Kiwis. Graham, out the back they come. The build-up's good. What a ball! Watkins is over! Kellen Watkins scores for England. And again, the play was surgeon-like. The scalpel cuts through the New Zealand defence.
Beautiful last play, a great land hit by Callum Watkins. Came from the back-to-back set. Fatigue factor was definitely kicking in with the Kiwis on that last second set. You see a few of them with hands on their hips. Number 4 jumped out the line and Callum hit a great line, and game on.
Just a poor read in defence from Bryson Goodwin. He had numbers in front of him, and he went to Westwood, which left the hole right open for Watkins. When the hole's open, you still need the pass to go to the right player. Good work from Sinfield, who actually juggled the football and didn't have a lot of time to actually make the selection. Perfect hole running.
Beautiful pass from Sinfield. Like you said, he bobbled the ball, and sometimes that can upset the defence a little bit. Obviously, a poor decision from the left centre, and Callum Watkins hits a really hard line. And as I said, it's going to be 14-all if he kicks this.
Wow. Every England Rugby League supporter now on the shoulders of Kevin Sinfield.
He takes the ball so narrow, Bossy.
To kick this one, 15 out, and there you go, the narrow angles push it across the front. As pass called by one of the best goal kickers of all time, Daryl Halligan.
I think he's a great goal kicker, no doubt about it. His 80% record is there for all to see, but he's only 15 metres back and not full 20 back, so surely the angle's got to work against him. That was just superb. When you see that happen, the whole running, the players and structures working out wide, I don't think there's anything better. Really toying with the defence, making the defence answer some questions.
What a moment for Callum Watkins, 22 years of age, making his debut for Leeds in the Super League as a 17-year-old. But here he is scoring at Wembley for England. Doesn't get much better than that. 14-12, final quarter of the game about to begin, or is it going to be the final quarter? We do have the option of golden point. As a penalty goes the way of England after Burgess got up, and then he gives a little slap across the back of the head of Sam Cassiano. I wouldn't make Sam angry.
Great resilience, I think, shown from the English team so far. We hit the 60-minute mark of the second half, and let's be honest, they've been on the road for the first 15 minutes. They've come off, they've got a bit of field position, they've got 2 penalties now on the bounce, and the creativity shown from their structure is really, really troubling New Zealand.
England are at 85% completion. New Zealand's still at 71.
Penalty count back to 10-6 now. And England with the ball on halfway. I've got to say, I'm loving what Gareth Widdop has done for this side today. Ranking Chase can be very loose, but Widdop gives them real direction. Between him and Sinfield, they've done the job in the halves for England. Now they've got to deliver in the last 20. Watkins was almost away again. Big tackle from 4 and Goodwin that time. Sinfield, they're deep again. They're combining 7 and 6. Widdop's got away from a couple. Johnson, back in circle. They make the tackle. 30 away from the New Zealand line. Johnson gets a little too cosy there with Widdop. No penalty. Graham strides forward up to the 20 at 14-12, but there's something building again for England. They've got their second wind. Tompkins looking to deliver their 12 out. Held by Taylor and Foran. Watkins, centre field, Sinfield's kick, placing it across for Hall. Hall gets a lead. Hall is offloaded and intercepted. New Zealand end up with it. Sonny Bill got his hands there. Now it's loose for Hall. Play on. Play on for England. What about that? What about that? And Cummins just said play on. Hill, 5 metres from the line. Rugby, centre field it comes, put down by O'Loughlin. What an anti-climax that is.
How do you think Stephen Kearney and Ivan Cleary are feeling in the box? Sonny Bill offloads out the back, and then Tuivasa-Sheck gets bundled towards touch. They are fortunate that O'Loughlin couldn't handle this football. They let Hall go up for it, then he passes it back. Sonny wants to let Fred Astaire, Tuivasa-Sheck get going, and he just, well, somehow manages to pass it to someone.
Tuivasa-Sheck would offload it behind his own try line. I mean, that's what makes this kid so exciting. But I honestly feel with a little bit more patience, if we'd attacked New Zealand's left edge, I think we'd have got some money out of that, because obviously, we spoke about it at half-time that the New Zealand's left edge is a little bit susceptible, and obviously Callum Watkins hit that really hard line. For the last try, I think with a little bit more patience, we held that ball to the ruck 4 or 5. I think we'd have got some money. We'd have got some change out of play.
How good's this? It's the first match of 2. Second semi-final still to come, Australia and Fiji. And I can tell you now, teams confirm no surprises from squads selected earlier this week. Brent Tate to start in the centres for the Aussies. No Slater, Inglis at fullback. But that is still to come. There is 17 to go in this one, with New Zealand up by 2. It's been every inch a test match.
That's a better run from Hargreaves.
Now Luke to the left. Williams, a lot of touches for Sonny Bill. But by and large, they've done very well, the England defence. On Williams. Luke and Cassiano. Cassiano 5 metres inside the half is offloaded. Luke says let's go. Isaac Luke says let's go, baby. And he's inside the 20. And Luke is then offloaded again. It's bounced forward. It's play on. Foran grabs it. Now it's a knock on. And England rest easy and will have the scrum feed.
He's deemed the ball to have gone forward from Isaac Luke after a superb bust. Stands one of the English forwards up on the left, and then Tompkins comes with a last-minute play. Ref calls play on, flung to the ground.
I don't know where the nearest trophy shop is, but how many man of the match medallions can they hand out today? Because I think
Kevin,
in my own head I've got about 15 contenders
Kevin,
at
let's
the
go.
moment. Can we run down and get a few more medallions?
Arms bound.
Just say it's for the Rugby League World Cup. Just write RLWC on.
There's a big medallion on offer next week, Fossey. It's called Old Trafford.
Sharpley cops a little backhander there in the tackle. Cutcho with the ball, driven sideways by Cassiano. I reckon he can eat more crepes than me. Sam Cassiano, and I ate 1,000 down in Paris. O'Loughlin plays it on the 40. Graham, not the same offloading we've seen in this second stint from James Graham. As O'Loughlin passes for Widdop. Would have been a Johnson hand there. Play on for England. Away they go. Hall with a chance. Oh, Hall has tripped over. What happened there? There's a sniper at Wembley. Hall was knocked down. Centre field for Widdop. Out for Sinfield. Sinfield out for Tompkins. Tompkins cut out ball all the way to Charlie. Charlie can smell the line but can't quite get there. Plays it for Watkins. Back for Tompkins. Jinking run held by the defence. Luke down low. What pressure again on the Kiwis, the Cup champions. He can't play it. He's just stepped over it. Cummins says, I don't know. Let's just play on. Sinfield, Widdop, straightening up now. Big tackle on Burgess needed. Williams over the top for Sam Burgess. O'Loughlin, they want to go short side. Switch back to the open, dribbled through. Scooped up, beautiful hands. Johnson. Great play, England. 9 drop out, New Zealand.
Superb attack from England. Really spreading the football. Johnson went for the intercept, which gave England 6 again. And then right at death, Widdop, I thought he might have backed himself. Nice pick up from Johnson. Actually put a good tackle in, low tackle on Burgess that needed to be made, with Sonny Bill over the top as he looked threatening on that left again. This game's on the knife edge.
There's a try. Last 14 minutes of play. Still no Carl Ablett. How nervous would he be? He's desperate to get out there. He's up on his feet. He's been up on his feet all second half saying, Coach, give me a run, but he can't get out there. 14-12. 14 to go right now. Here comes England again. This crowd so lively. Getting double the dose of the big hit. Played by Burgess and Roby. Sinfield, he's set them away again. Look at Burgess, they will not stop him. Sam Burgess, he may be lighted after that. Maybe saw Sam Burgess. What a moment to score for England. And Sinfield, the captain, what about his role?
Once again, it's the structure of this England offence. The block play put in, a beautiful short pass by Sinfield. I really do feel Kevin Sinfield has flourished because of the freedom he's been given by the fact that Widdop has took a little bit of pressure off him. You know, and normally the ball always goes through Sinfield's hands, but this it's been buried quite a lot. And let's be honest, this guy is an absolute superstar of the game of rugby league, Sam Burgess.
They decide to hit the front runner in Burgess after Johnson comes out of the line. He's defending outside Sonny Bill Williams. The half partner in Widdop was out the back for the ball in the block play. And a superb pass from Sinfield. As soon as he got the ball, Burgess scores.
Well, you certainly won't be full back waiting for him, would you?
Sinfield with a kick. Much maligned in some quarters for being selected halfback. But hasn't he stepped up today as captain? And Burgess, well, there was no way they were going to stop him. Big Sam slams it down. And England lead by 4. So close to locking themselves in for the final. But 12 minutes is a long time. 18-14. Cup champions behind. The cup champions who going into today had scored off from the kickoff out of the full. Boy, oh boy. What a time for that era.
Momentum can be a killer in games. All with England now. I don't think I've seen Isaac Luke kick the ball that far. But here at Wembley, the Wembley factor sees it sail over the dead ball line onto the AstroTurf. Couldn't even pick up a piece of grass.
18-14. And Sinfield the kick for the sideline. This crowd singing now. What does New Zealand do to weather this? They have to find not a second win, a third or a fourth win now. 11 to go. 18-14 in a classic test match. The ball is turned over. The knock-on will be against Williams. England will have the scrum feed. Sonny Bill blows up.
Well, I've got to say, I'd love this to go to a quick replay to see if Sonny Bill actually plays at the ball or at the arm. Have to go a little bit further back than that. There's no problem with the receipt once it's on the ground.
Scrum will pack 25 metres out from the New Zealand line. Watch it again, see if you can detect how this came loose.
Yeah, now he's played at the arm of the ball carrier in Rugby, not the actual ball itself. So
Definitely call went to England's way that time.
Chances here with Westwood. He's the warrior with a head bandage. If England score here, there's going to be a hero's welcome for the man who gets the 4-pointer. Graham to play it. 12 metres out. Roby, ruck play with Sinfield. They keep on the charge. It'll be played by George Burgess. A Burgess double would be huge. 5 from the line. Roby pumps it left side. Widdop tries to step through. Held that time by the defence of Taylor. Cup defence on the line for New Zealand. Out it comes for Westwood. Westwood has lost the ball over the line. Nightingale comes back with it for New Zealand. No advantage at all, and it will be a New Zealand scrum feed.
oh, so close. Westwood, have a look as he reaches out. Just loses it like a digger arm off an excavator, unloading its load. Couldn't get it down over the line, but just loses it short of. The game was there. Sean was there.
It was all over him. He gets that one down.
Sean had already cued the music. He was going up. Oh, yeah, SBW Super Ben Westwood almost scoring.
Just thinking about back to that misconversion by Sinfield. You know, it would be nice to be 6 points up at this moment as opposed to 4, because if New Zealand got the length of field, I know I'm being a little bit negative, but if they do go the length of field and keep the goal, that misconversion could be looming quite large.
9 to go. We're inside the final 9 now. New Zealand 20 metres out from their own line. Madalino, big run, but well held front on. Westwood put his body on the line. Luke been dangerous this second half. Here is Bromwich. Little stutter in his run, carries him up over the 40. But eating through the tackles. Tackle number 4, 8 inside their own half. And another run for Madalino. Cut off load. And this is the last for New Zealand. Johnson, does he kick long? Does he try one of those high balls? He goes short, in fact. The chip over the top. Widdop was there. Sinfield was there. And England cover up. Caught them all by surprise, Sean Johnson.
They were awake to it, both Sinfield and Widdop.
Ben!
The halves dropping back from the 3 position in the D line to cover that kick. Hall with the charge towards the line. Sonny Bill over the top. Barre down low.
8 to go now. Roby. And Burgess, the last try scorer, another big run, one of his finest games today. Graham likewise, Setterfield again, George Burgess on the spin. Cut off load, 29 metres away from the line. Sinfield at first receiver. Here's Tompkins, kick to the corner, wants it to pull up. Nightingale sends it and watches it go over the dead ball line, then gets on the ice rink. 20-minute restart, New Zealand.
Right there, one.
These are the parts of a test match where you just got to dig deep. This is why you represent your country. This is why you're a test match player. It's not called a test match for nothing, because it tests your resilience, tests your fitness level, and tests your desire just to dig that little bit deeper than most normal human beings.
Little ball out the back from Mannering. We're a long way out, 40 metres on tackle 2.
On their own 40, and Luke to Foran to Johnson. Johnson finds Williams. Williams is offloaded. Johnson back with it. Then to Avasashek. There is so much danger in attack of this New Zealand side. There is still over 6.5 minutes to go. No one is comfortable in the England camp. Now inside the England 20. Big run. And a quick play the ball from Adelino. Right, Johnson. Foran. Beautiful. Anderson. And Hall has lost it. Either way. Could have been a New Zealand try. Could have been an England try.
He had it. It was in the basket. Farai a low pass, like a swooping eagle. Hall tries to grasp it, knows it's there, and then just spills the lollies. It certainly was the match one way. Could have been the match the other as well.
Time off. How tense is this? Remember, if we end up with level scores at the end of 80, golden point, we'll go into a 10-minute first period.
Let's go, bind it in.
But there's time for 2 scores, not just one. Even if New Zealand were to score here. Crowd now lifts again behind England. The Kiwi fans here. They've just about gone hoarse. Foran, Lock, wide ball, high ball, Nottingham, no chance. He would have needed a step ladder. And I don't think he's got one with him out there. England will get a scrum feed.
Whoa. Pressure valve just let off there. I mean, that was a first tackle, big turnover on the first tackle. I mean, throwing cut-out passes against an up-and-out defence is probably not the best advice to do, and obviously, I mean, that was just a shocker from a very, very talented player.
Why? WH, why pass that football?
Make some noise for England as on the illuminated signage around the ground. And the crowd is doing that. It rings the lower bowl of the stand, or just above the lower bowl here at Wembley. So you can't help but see it. England with the ball 15 out from their own line. Widdop has been absolutely magnificent. They've announced Sam Burgess as man of the match. I think the try has certainly helped Sam. He's been great, but there's been so many good ones out there on both sides. Graham 5 short of halfway. 5 minutes to go. Scooped up by Rugby. Well, if there are tickets still on sale for Old Trafford, they'll be all gone in about half an hour's time if England make it through. Widdop's kick is allowed to bounce by Goodwin. Was a friendly bounce to Lock. And New Zealand start a set 50 inside their own half. Now Goodwin.
That's 2, what do you mean?
Trapped there by Sinfield. Away goes Nightingale. Got away from Burgess. Good meters there for Jason Nightingale. Remembering he's into the side today for Manu Vanove. And Manu, we might see him again.
That's 4.
In a World Cup. Played there for Lock. To centre field for Bromwich. Then for Foran. Now for Johnson. Farai to Tuivasa-Sheck. Gets the feet moving.
Last one.
But over the top in the tackle. Cudjoy. Oh no. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck's been injured.
Just right there.
And straight away
Right
Ferris knew it. He's to his feet.
Right there, back at it. Wait. Up here.
But obviously there was a cry of pain there, and the England players, great respect, they reacted. High ball is, it's been knocked back. It's play on. England are there to take it over the dead ball line. Roby.
Backwards.
Well, just for a moment, I thought Charnley and Tompkins, they had a moment of, well, it's your ball, isn't it?
It was the efforts of Bryson Goodwin, who gets up there with a left arm. Lock got taken out on the way through, couldn't get a clear shot at it.
It was a poor decision actually to kick the ball down, because I think it came off a New Zealand player, so maybe, you know, we would have had the 22, but unfortunately
He just needed to tidy up though, Sean,
Yeah,
you know, play
yeah.
the safety option. Didn't
Yeah.
know what was behind him. Back
Absolutely.
facing to the other players. Big play from Goodwin.
Yeah, it's easy up here, looking down.
It's just those nerves, mate. You're holding on.
So, New Zealand, another set inside the England half. Started by Madeline. Now there's 3.5 to go. 14-18. That is the scoreline that New Zealand look up at.
the ball.
Cassiano keeps inside the 20. Luke from dummy half. Johnson, cut out ball. Williams tries to steamroll his way over the top. And Winnip was around the legs again. Luke, 5 from the line. Bromwich is held that time. Ferris and O'Loughlin. Then Ferris with a push. No penalty. Luke, Johnson, Foran. They come left. On it comes for Locke. Then for Goodwin. Goodwin is held again. Brilliant defence. Last tackle. Foran will kick. Stabs it across field. Williams flies high and has lost it. Winnip is there again. Gareth Winnip. Make him a 9 as well. Sir Gareth Winnip. He's been everywhere.
Was that the right last roll of the dice for New Zealand? Sonny Bill up, trying that class, but couldn't do so.
Now you're going to get another chance. I reckon you're going to get one more chance. Come on, boys, dig in.
Lord Edwards, former Great Britain England international. Daryl Halligan, former New Zealand international, side by side. With 2.5 minutes to go in what has been just a tremendous match. O'Loughlin lifted and given a soft landing by Luke. Roby. Well, you'll hear the cries from Huddersfield and Halifax and everywhere. The Three Pigeons Hotel, everywhere in the north of England will be going off. They hang on to the last two. Graham tackled by Foran. Now Roby to the right side and they slow it down a little. One more big kick.
Come on, kick it out, James.
Take it out of play.
Kick it out.
Sinfield, no, he angles the kick back infield. Tuivasa-Sheck's made quite a recovery from whatever the problem was. Back he comes. So, this may be their last chance with the football. They start the set, 20 inside their own half. Nightingale crunched over the top by Watkins. Now Luke, if you've got a big play, New Zealand, they better produce it right now. Goodwin tackled on 3. 5 inside the half. Cassiano lumbers forward. Foran, there's a chance. And Foran knocked off his feet by Hall. Tackle number 4. 1 to go. 1 minute to go. 35 out from the line. Williams, they've been taken high there. Sonny barely was. High tackle. New Zealand need a quick tap. Yes, they'll take it. Luke may have had Graham offside. What pressure this is. 20 metres away from the line. 45 seconds to go. Frank Pornuasana, what happened to the ice on the calves? And he's recovered. They amputated, put another leg on. Here's Luke from dummy half. Almost over the line. Burgess and Graham there. Nuasana dummy half. High ball. Johnson. Johnson shall score. Sean Johnson has scored. Sean Johnson has scored with 20 seconds on the clock. Sean Johnson for New Zealand. It's 18-all. He's still got to kick the goal, but it will come from 15 metres alongside the posts.
Wow! I'm out of breath, Sean. When Isaac Luke went to dummy half, this was the penalty which give us another few play the balls with just 1 minute to go. Isaac Luke took an option to go himself, and I just wondered when he wasn't a dummy half and it was Frank Paul who threw the ball. There was no time for Johnson, but Johnson doesn't need time. Look at him, he gets to the outside of Sinfield, showed us his footwork. That's relief. Relief.
Well, we did speak about the missed conversion earlier on.
Yeah.
You know, we spoke
100%.
about that missed conversion, and I hope this guy. Let's hope he hits the post.
No, yeah, exactly. Say what you want to say. Now's the time.
This is not easy.
Wow.
The biggest kick of Sean Johnson's career.
Sean Johnson scores the try. Now I can hear the boos from the three pigeons. Ken Halifax.
Can he ice the cake?
23 years of age. 68 NRL games under his belt. They're playing, remember, Benji Marshall. He's no longer part of the 6 or the 7 at New Zealand. It's Foran and Johnson. This to break the hearts of the Rugby League nation. Johnson 20 metres in from touch. 16 out to send the Cup champions into the final. Here we go. In the early hours of the morning in New Zealand, they celebrate as Johnson has done it. And New Zealand win by 2. An amazing match. Your heart bleeds for England. They were so good. They were so gallant. And they have come seconds away from qualifying for the final.
I applaud the New Zealand team. The resilience was absolutely fantastic, and Sean Johnson's play at the end shows what a very special player he is, and I wish them well in the final. But I just want to give credit to Steve McNamara and his coaching staff and the English team. They played with real pride, real creativity, and did the nation proud. Obviously the result didn't go our way, but those guys can hold their heads up high.